Hello everyone, it's Jill here and welcome to my craft. Today I'm going to be making a beautiful little card with the gorgeous Seren fairy stamp from Lavinia, and I'm going to do a nice ink blended background and we're going to do a lovely little scene. So to start with, I've got some card from Lavinia. It's the Multifarious. It's absolutely brilliant. It takes a lot of water, blends well. It's a really nice card. So I've cut 5 3/4 square on this one, and I'm going to be colouring in with some Distress Oxides. I've got Fossilized amber, carved pumpkin and candied apple. So to start with, let's just take our lids off, and I'm just using the ordinary ink blenders because that's what I have to hand. So I'm going to start in the middle because I want to create a nice light area here and come out towards darker. So to do that, we just need to just take a tiny bit off here. We're going to have to start in the middle. We can't start from the edge. So when you put this down, don't plonk it straight down like that. You need to very gently start off with your little circle, because we want to blend all this in to a beautiful smooth finish. So obviously I'm starting with the Fossilized amber. Once you've got a little bit of ink on the go, you can start doing a bit more, and then it starts to soak into the paper and you can start blending. There we go. What I do is I just do a bit to start with here, and then move on to the second colour, and then come back to the first colour and blend it all in. There we go. That's that one for the moment. Just pick that little bit up there. Onto the carved pumpkin. Oops. Again, I'm just going to gently take a bit off there and come in here. Let's get that into shot for you. It looks a bit messy at the moment, but don't worry about that. It will tone down in a minute. Don't like that, you see, but obviously we've got some ink going on there, so we can now start blending a bit better. Right, let's come back to the Fossilized amber. And as you can see, if you go over it again, you get that beautiful edge here, and where it just very gently blends in. You don't end up with very harsh lines on it. Right, let's take a little bit of time to do this. As I said, it's beautiful paper, this, a card even. It takes the ink really well. Now let's come into the candied apple. It's nice, this candied apple. It's almost like a pink red. It's not a harsh, like fired brick or crackling campfire. There we go, look at that. Let's move that around this time. Beautiful. There we go. Keep going around the edges like that. And going over the whole card. And you know what I should have done? I really should have got myself a bit of paper. Stop my fingerprints. Better late than never, as they say. Right, here we go. As you can see, it needs a bit more blending in now. So back to the pumpkin. And it just takes out any harsh lines, gives you a beautiful blend. Back to the Fossilized amber. Yeah, that's going to do it. It's lovely. You can always add a bit or take a bit off a bit later. Right, so I'm just going to do up all my ink pads before they dry out. Right, so there we are. I've had a bit of a clean up and coming back now to do a little bit of water splats on it. Now I'm just going to do a few off of my hand. I don't want too much water on there. gentle flicks. Obviously, if you flick it like this, you get droplets rather than great big splodges, or if you missed it. Now, I always take mine off with a bit of a paper towel. There we go, that's lovely. See all the little splodges on there. It's really pretty. So the next thing to do is to dry this off, and it needs to be really, really dry for the next step, because I was going to stamp onto it. Bear with me, I'll be back with you in a moment. So here we are again. This is beautiful and dry. I've chosen which way round I want this to go, and it's all ready there to start stamping our lovely Seren. So just take that out and pop her down where I want her to go. I'll have her over on the left here. Not too low down, because I want a bit of grass and things in the bottom there. That will do, I think. Just see if I can pull it up a bit, to be honest, just so that I can hold that corner down. Just make sure you're placed where you want it to be. And I'm using the stamping platform because she's such a big stamp that if she's not stamped in one go, then we can go back in again. Right, here we are. And I'm going in with my Versafine Claire in Nocturne. Make sure she's beautifully covered. And just give her a bit of time for the ink to soak into that card, because obviously you've got a lot of ink on here already with the background. Sorry, just get her into shot a bit more. And there we go. Let's have a look. Whoa, that didn't work very well, did it? Hopefully she's done, and she is. Thank goodness for that. A few little spits and spots, but I can't go back in with it again because it moved, which is a bit unfortunate, but never mind. Let's just pop her out, that out the way, and we'll come back to this. So I'll show you what I do with that sometimes when that happens. So take the ink pad, and I get a small paintbrush, tiny little paintbrush, and just pick a little bit up off the ink pad. And I keep this one, it's dedicated to my Nocturne black, and then we can just gently fill in a few of the lighter areas. Ideally, as I said, it would have been better if my stamping platform hadn't done that, but it did. So anyway, we're trying to do a bit of a rescue on it. And this will all dry in, and it'll blend in with the original ink in a minute, so no problem. There we go, that will do, I think. Right, let's put my brush away. Next little guy that I'm going to use is I'm going to use the Wild Hares. I'm going to use a little bunny just down here, and I think this little guy here. And where's my ink block? My ink block is still in my drawer, so just bear with me. And there we go, pop that onto there. Make sure that's inked up quite well. There we go. And I think I'm just going to pop him about here. Just let that ink transfer. Again, I've done him in the Nocturne. A little bit of glitter there. Always find a bit of glitter. Right, there we go. Excellent. So that's done. Again, I'm just going to give it a quick go over with the heat gun, just to make sure that ink's well and truly dried. There we go, that'll do. Now I've got, I don't know what you've got, a little bit of paper or something like that, because we just need to ground everybody, make sure they're not floating away. And I'm going to use the Twilight for that. Just need to make sure I've got a little bit of foam or something just to do that with. So yeah, I've just got a little bit of foam here. Right, so just choose what you think looks nice there. Let's go with that. We'll ground Seren first. So start on your mat first and then come down onto the card. Okay, right. So as you can see, I've done the hills here, but her staff thing isn't touching the ground at the moment, so I just need to do a tiny little bit more just to bring, whoops, just to make that sure that's grounded. Add a tiny little bit of shadow there. Maybe a little bit more. It's just a matter of playing around really until you're happy with what you've got. There we are. That's better. Let's put that to one side and clear up a bit. And my mask. Always do that while I'm working, because you never know next time when you pick it up. Just might have a load of rubbish on it and you transfer it to what you're doing. Right, next thing I'm going to do, I'm working with the berry leaves. So I'm going to bring some nice little leaves down here. Let me have a look. We could probably get away with the big one and the small one this time. And yes, again, I don't have a block. Bear with me. There we go. So I'm going to be using Warm Breeze this time in the Versafine Clair. As you can see, I've just got my little paper pad behind me and a little bit of paper there to stamp off. Initially, I'm just going to go with a solid colour to start with. There we go. Oh, how pretty is that? See if I can get a second generation just in here. Lovely. Put it down a bit. Lovely. Let's do some of the smaller leaf now. I'm just going to stamp off with this one, because I don't want it too dark. Just going to have something in the background there. Lovely. Again, stamping off. Brilliant. I think that looks quite nice. Let's just put my lid on. Get rid of those stamps. And move into what I'm going to do down the bottom here. Now I've got my, what other one did I get the other day? I got the lovely lavender. I thought that would look quite nice if we had a few of those popped along there. So let's get my block. Clean it up. And I think I'll come in with Twilight on this one. It's a really nice, delicate little flower. Perhaps a second generation there. That's nice. A bit more second generation. There. Happy with that. Now I think I just need to give that a quick dry before we proceed further, because I'm going to do a little bit of stenciling. There we are. Brilliant. Right, let's lose all this stuff. Put it to one side. And I've got the Glory, was it Morning Glory or Glory stencil here? Thought that would look quite nice in a bit of Distress in the Dusty Concord. I've got my little brush. Let's just see what looks nice. That looks quite nice. You can see I'm just holding it down with my hand. I'm not tacking it down with anything. So this won't come out bright purple because obviously it's on top of the orange and the red. It should look quite nice still. Have a look. Yes, how pretty is that? And I think just to even it out a bit, we'll do some in the bottom here. Let's find something that fits in. Yeah. How pretty is that? That just about finishes it off, I think. Really nice. Right, let's lose the stencil. Put it to one side. And I'm going to come in with some purple around the edge. Now I've got Versafine Imperial purple. I think if you've got the Claire's, I think this is the Monarch colour. Again, I'm just going to use my brush. Just to go around the edges. And it adds more of that Twilight look. Obviously you can add as much or as little of this as you like. There we go. It's quite lovely. Just frames the card beautifully by doing that little bit around the edge. Darken it down a bit more across the top here. Maybe a little bit more around here. That looks like a bit of a straight line to me, and I don't want a straight line. There. Excellent. So I'm just going to clear my desk up and then I'll come back to you and we'll do all the finishing touches. So, hello, here I am again. I've had a bit of a break there and made sure this is all well and truly dried. Gathered a few supplies together, ready to do the finishing touches. So I've got a white pastel pencil, a pink and a gold jelly roll, little glue pen, my white, which one is this one? This is a uni ball, and I've got a white posca, and also a little tub of glitter here. Lilac, that's called. So to finish off, right then, I'm going to start with the gold pen. I'm just going to pop that way a bit to stop the light, my overhead light, reflecting on here. Right, so I'm just going to go into a hare and just go along with the braids. There we go. And it's all these little finishing touches that really do just that, finish your card off. But I always worry about it when I spent so long doing something, and then you think, oh no, I'm going to muck it up. I know I am right at the last minute, but just have faith. Right, that's a little candle. There we go. Now with these little jelly rolls, you can actually colour them. You can actually watercolour them. So if you just colour them in, get a tiny bit of water, and then you can spread it around a bit. How's that? Lovely. Just in there. Should better have a little bit on the outside as well, I think. You need to get the water on when the pen is still wet. Once it's dried, it doesn't want to know. There we go. And obviously, we've got the Distress ink under there as well, so that will spread around a bit. But it doesn't matter for this bit because this is the light, and we like that. The other thing I was going to do, actually, which I didn't get, bear with me, that is my Mica. So this is called Gold Sparkle. I think we'll have a go at that one, and I'm just going to do her wings with that. So all we need to do with that, it's coming out already. Just take a tiny bit on the brush, like so, a little bit of water, and you can use this like a paint. And I'm just going to do her wings. How pretty is that? So any sort of mica will do. But this happens to be a gold sparkle, and it goes really well with the background. Again, because this is the Multifarious card, it does take the water very well. So there we go, that's all I'm doing with that one for the moment. Let's just put my lid on that, that's because that's going to make a bit of a mess everywhere. And bear with me while I just clear that away. There we go. Right, let's come across to my white uniball. Just make sure that's running all right. Yes. And we're just going to put in some highlights. There we go. Let's run that off a bit more. It's the only problem with these pens, isn't it? They do that sometimes. You think you're getting somewhere, and then they dry up. It's possibly because it's going over the Distress ink. Oh, sorry, I've knocked you yet again. There we go. I'll just put a few little bits on my flowers here. There we are. Sorry, another interruption. Get there in the end. Right, so just going to do a few more highlights here. Now this is picking up the yellow from the ink, but it doesn't matter. It looks really nice, and it does still finishes it off. Let's put a few more white bits and bobs in the... Yeah, this pen does not want to work. Let's keep going. A few bits into the lavender. There we go. So I've used the white pen and I've highlighted, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see in there, but it's just picked up some of the yellow from the ink. It doesn't matter, it still adds the highlight, it still looks lovely, but it's just one of those things. So I've done that, and I'm just going to come in with... Shall I do Quickie Glue pen? No, let's do this one first. Let's do the Posca pen. So I'm just going to add a few little flowers and things dotted about. Just to finish all this off. Let's go with a few little bits and bobs in here. Almost like little berries on the berry leaves. That's the Posca pen. Perhaps a bit more jelly roll. Little dots and dots here. Barely see these, but they do add a bit of sparkle. And then let's come in with my glue pen. Make sure that's running okay. Yep. A little bit of glitter. A little bit of scrap of paper there. Oh yeah, that just finishes it off. Look at that, a little bit of sparkle in there. Really pretty. The one other thing I forgot to do is my little bit of chalk pen around my light. Smudge that out a bit. And there she is. Beautiful. Seren in the sunset. Really pretty. Now then, I'm going to mount this up onto a 7x7 card in the end. I changed my mind about a 6x6. Didn't really fit very well. So, quite dark colours I've used. Don't be shocked. But I'm just going to mount her up onto there. And there she is, beautifully finished. Gorgeous Seren. So I hope that's given you some ideas of how to use her. She's a beautiful stamp. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.